Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Really been diving into Arthur Smith's Falcons tape to get a really X's and O's idea of what he's going to bring to Pittsburgh. We've talked about some of the coaching clinics he's done and his overall philosophy, but let's translate that to the tape. And I'm going to go through a bunch more games here, especially from 2023, but wanted to start with the 2022 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Falcons, losing that one 19-16 in Atlanta. Had that tape on file, easy to pull up, so I started going through it and I learned a lot, but I thought there was one really interesting theme and sequence and variation and layer that Arthur Smith had. The same look with a bunch of variations off of it. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. So we're going to look at 9 plays here. And pre-snap, they're all going to look identical. The exact same in terms of the formation, in terms of the motion, in terms of the alignment. And that's kind of the beauty in what we're going to look at. So all these clips are going to be at a heavy personnel, 12 personnel, 21 personnel. They're going to start with this motion by the 2 tight ends or fullback tight end, however you want to designate them, of them starting to both come across the field and trade, and then one's going to return. And you're going to have this motion out of pistol with these condensed, reduced splits, which is a hallmark of the Arthur Smith offense. And then before the snap of the football, one of those tight ends or fullbacks will motion back. Instead of being 2x2, it'll become 3x1. So I'm going to run this thing through just to kind of see the entire layout of the play and then the actual snap of the football. So I'm going to run it back again just quickly here to see the whole play unfold with the initial look, the motion, the return, and then the snap of the football. And to be clear, this motion, Matt Canada has used this before, but we're not going to focus so much on what that means, but the look. So you're getting this motion here, and then what Atlanta ultimately runs is counter power to the weak side, away from the strength of the formation. And it's a good run here by Cordell Patterson for, I believe, 7 yards. Let me double check my notes here. Yeah, 7 yards. So again, you see the motion, you see the return by 46, and then 40, that's Keith Smith, the fullback. He's going to then motion across, and they're going to run counter power to the weak side with the guard pulling around, the right guard pulling around, Patterson following behind, and it's a 7-yard gain. So that's the first example. Okay, next example. And again, everything pre-snap is the same. Maybe a variation of a fullback versus a tight end, but it's heavy personnel. You see the trade and then the return right here. And then on this snap, no counter power. It's going to be outside zone to the strong side, and it becomes a 20-yard gain by the running back. So again, pre-snap look, all the same, out of pistol, 2 tight ends initially coming across, one returns, the other one gets motions across after he's initially lined up. And here, no counter power. They're going to run the outside zone scheme, the wide zone, kind of the hallmark of Arthur Smith's offense and run game, to the strong side, to the strength here with the tight ends, running behind. And Algier finds the holes, well blocked up front, and a 20-yard gain. A little bit later in the game, same thing. Pistol, 12 personnel, get the same initial motion, and then here comes the return. And then the call this time, what's it going to be? They're going to run outside zone to the weak side, and also running it to the field side. Talk about field versus boundary. You're going to run to the close side of the field or the more open, field side of the field. In this case, this pistol run, it's going to be outside zone weak. They're going to return and motion this tight end across, but then run away from that. They're going to run away from the strength of the formation. Now, this one, Pittsburgh, to their credit, Minka Fitzpatrick's able to figure this one out. It's a loss of 4. But there's another variation, this time outside zone, weak side, as opposed to strong side. 1st and 10 again, and it's the same exact look. This will be the 4th time that we've seen it. And the motion, everything identical. Defense really can't get a read on what the call is going to be. And in this case, you're going to get just a 2-yard gain. Patterson trying to cut this one back. A nice play there by, looks like Terrell Edmonds making the ankle tackle. But Again, you're going to see this time it is outside zone to the strong side. And now there's a cutback here from Patterson, but initially that is to the strong side. There was, somebody got in this gap here, and Patterson cut this one back again. Zone scheme, there is no, you're going to hit this hole. It's based off the flow of the defensive line, and then you're finding the crease, essentially. So the back gets to pick his spot based on the structure and how the defense plays things. 2-yard gain here, not much, but again, same idea. Everything looks the same. What's the call going to be? It's hard to say until the ball snapped. This comes on 2nd and 6, so these are all early downs, most on 1st and 10, but not in this case. Now, you've seen Atlanta run the heck out of the football, zone, counter, weak side, strong side. Here, they finally go play action off of it, max protect, this Yankee concept, this crosser in the post, some pressure, the pass incomplete, but you see the pass game getting involved. The same motion, you're probably expecting a run here. It is well defended by Pittsburgh. They've been able to adjust in recent years, so instead of the corner having to carry this crosser where they're out leveraged, the safety's going to cut the crosser, and the corner's going to replace and become that middle of the field defender against the post. And it's well executed, and the pressure certainly impacts the throw. And I don't know the receiver really knew where that ball was going to be, but my point is you see layers to it. You've seen power, you've seen outside zone to the strong side, weak side. Now you're seeing the play pass off of it. The 6th time Atlanta has run this, again, same exact look. The defense, they really can't get a tell. Is it going to be play action? Is it going to be outside zone? Is it going to be to the weak side, strong side, field side, boundary side? Will it be their power scheme? You don't know. And this time it is outside zone, weak side to the boundary. That's the more close side of the field. This is the field side where, there's more space, not on the hash, away from where the ball's at on the hash. And Patterson with a big run here of 22 yards, right side, outrunning Miles Jack. So we'll take a look at it from the end zone view. And again, everything looks the same pre-snap. The defense, they really don't know what's coming. It's just everything formationally, the motion, the exact same, the splits condensed, reduced. Here's the tight end coming across. Will they run strong side up? They're going to run weak side. Nice block there by 63. Get a hat on linebacker. Patterson does the rest for a big play. Atlanta says that worked so well, let's go ahead and run it again. They go right back to this play on the ensuing 1st and 10. And this time you're going to get outside zone to the strong side. They ran it weak side last time. Now they're going to run to their numbers. They're going to run it to the left side here. Also to the field side. And so instead of running outside zone weak to the boundary, they're going to run outside zone strong side to the field. And it's a 6-yard run by Tyler Algier. And so they're getting chunk plays, they're staying on schedule, and the run game really effective here. And Pittsburgh does not know what they're going to get. You could get anything. You can get outside zone to either side and get play action and get their power scheme. And Atlanta in this moment really starting to control things with that run game. Number 8, the 8th time Atlanta had run this. It sounds repetitive, and it is, and it's supposed to be. And I cut off exactly where this is supposed to start, but I think you guys know what's happening by now. And so the point is it's supposed to be repetitive. It's supposed to look the same. And if the defense can't tell what's happening based off of tendencies of formation and splits and motion, and are you under center, shotgun, pistol, you really can't get a tell on what the call is going to be until the ball is snapped. And so in this case, you're going to get outside zone to the weak side and to the boundary as well. And it's a 4-yard gain by Cordell or Patterson. So again, you see the fullback in this case. The only variation was, depending on how you call things, 21 with a fullback or 12 with 2 tight ends, but it's essentially the same thing. So you're going to get him to come across on this play. That's actually the tight end. But again, they've done it with the fullback, and you're going to run away from the strength here and pick up 4 yards. And one more time for a 9th instance. Going to get the same exact look, this time with a fullback, so I would technically call this 21 personnel. And here, you will get outside zone to the strong side, and in this case, it's also going to be to the field side. And so that is the number 9th instance of the same formation, same pre-snap look. And it's a 6-yard gain for Patterson. Now, Atlanta, of course, lost this game, but the run game had success, and you're just seeing all the variations from it And this is the final instance of it. Take a look from the end zone view. Again, you guys know what's happening by now. All looks the same. What will the call actually be? You don't know until the ball is snapped. And there it is. It's going to be outside zone to the strong side for 6 yards. To recap, I want to put some numbers on screen. Again, Atlanta ran this look 9 different times. They gained 63 yards off of it. That's 7 yards per play, a very strong number, with 2 plays going for explosive plays of 20-plus yards or more. A 20-yard run and a 22-yard run. So 2 chunk plays off of the 9 calls, 8 of them runs, 1 of them the pass that was incomplete. More specifically, in terms of the exact calls, and again, it's on screen just about now, depending on how good my editing skills are. Twice they ran outside zone to the strong side to the boundary. Twice they ran outside zone to the strong side to the field side. Twice they ran outside zone to the weak side to the boundary. Once they ran outside zone, weak side to the field. Once they ran their counter power, and then once they ran play action and that deep shot on that Yankee concept that was incomplete. So there are 6 different concepts and variations of the same look, which again is that heavy personnel, reduced splits, pistol, the initial, kind of trade motion by both the tight end or the fullback, whatever grouping it is, and then one kind of returning midway through once he gets to the center, and then the other one who goes the whole way across and gets set, then motions back to his original spot, and then the ball is snapped. And so all of that looks the same to the defense. That is kind of the epitome of what Arthur Smith and really what all coaches want to be able to do, make things look the same pre-snap so the defense can't get a read on what the call may or may not be, and to really only know that once the ball is snapped. So this is, to me, a really good example. I was watching the tape, and this just play kept running through time and time again. I kept noting it, same play as before, same look as before, but different actual play calls from it. So that is this offense at its best, and we'll see how well that gets implemented into Pittsburgh under Arthur Smith. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll have plenty more tape breakdown and analysis of the Arthur Smith offense and what to expect in Pittsburgh based off of what he did in Atlanta, and perhaps some tape of Tennessee as well. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Really appreciate that. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.